So welcome back to the studios of Hala Kuwait, and now to follow up on that report on the Tantora Winter Festival, we are joined with Mr. Abdel Mohsen Albaghli, whom is a Kuwaiti traveler and biker. Mr. Abdel Mohsen, thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you for this invitation.
So Mr. Abdel Mohsen, before we talk about all your adventures with your bike, please tell us more about yourself and your background.
I'm a mechanical engineer, graduate long time back in 1988. I joined a transportation company, then in the oil field. Then I retired 2013, and I decided to change my life 180 degree from pure technical environment to a total free bird, traveling all around the world, exploring the heritage, the history, the culture, and the most important, to raise the Kuwait flag country all around the globe, to introduce and to inform the globe about the Kuwait and the Kuwaiti citizen. That's the most important thing.
Wow, very inspiring, Mr. Abdel Mohsen. You've left mechanical engineering for something more exciting, I could say. That's amazing to hear, Mr. Abdel Mohsen. And you've been on a lot of amazing trips. So your most recent one, I understand, was to the Tantora Winter Festival, or Mada'in Salih, or Al-Ula in Saudi Arabia. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, thank God that I received an invitation from the Saudi Royal Commission to participate in the first motorcyclist ride to visit Al-Ula and Mada'in Salih. And I was really lucky to be part of that event to represent the Kuwait and the Kuwaiti citizen in this amazing festival.
Right, and Mr. Abdel Mohsen, before we talk more about the event, you were telling us that it's the first bikers ride and pride into the Tantora Winter Festival. So how many bikers were there?
Now this is of course this is the first year they start the festival, which is the festival start with the starting or changing of the season from 22nd of December, and it will be ending the 20th of February, which is the winter season in Al-Ula.
Yes.
So they decide to invite a motorcyclist for Al-Ula and to enjoy the culture, the scenery, the heritage, the history background of Mada'in Salih or Al-Hijr, or that area. So I was really, lucky to participate, and they invite 70 motorcyclists, 69 from Saudi Arabia, and one Kuwaiti, which is me.
That is amazing to hear. So very inspirational, you being the only Kuwaiti over there.
Yeah, so that was, I was really proud to, raise Kuwait flag during the parade or during the ride.
Wow, how did that feel, Mr. Abdel Mohsen, knowing that you're the only person from the state of Kuwait?
It's an amazing. Maybe I'm speechless. I cannot describe my feeling to represent Kuwait.
It's a very symbolic moment, I'm very sure.
Yes, yeah.
Both for yourself, the flag being the symbol of national unity for the state of Kuwait, and especially around Hala February and the festival seasons we're going through.
Yeah, of course.
Right, and so Kuwait was the only flag risen along with the Saudi Arabian flag.
Yes.
Right, so 70 bikers in total.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Abdel Mohsen, you were telling me that you always travel with your bike.
Yes.
So how was the journey like to Al-Ula, and how many days did it take?
Usually I don't like to exhaust myself, and I like to enjoy
the view,
the journey, to discover, to see what's going on around me in the world. So it took from me 2 days. So I spent I start from Kuwait, going through Saudi Arabia, and I spent one night in Hail, in the house of one of my friends in Hail. So it took from me 2 days going and 2 days back.
Right, and Mr. Abdel Mohsen, I'm sure you faced several challenges traveling with your motorcycle. Tell us about those challenges and how did you counteract them with the safety precautions that you took?
Being in a motorcycle, it's not like being in a
car.
comfort car.
Or a plane.
Or airplane, no flight attendants on the motorcycle.
It's all you.
So it just do it yourself. And this is part of the beauty of the life which I choose, to feel the beauty of the life.
Wow, just the sense of freedom by
Yes.
traveling alone on your bike.
Yeah, yeah. Well, once we reach Al-Ula area, the amazing that you know, being there, it's really, of course, maybe I become like a burden for my friend, because they are from Saudi Arabia. They visit there so many times, but it was an amazing to see that, especially the landscape. It's an amazing landscape. I've been in different parts of the world. I travel almost all around the world, but what I saw in Al-Ula, it is something really amazing, especially that the mountain, they have the shape of a desert reptile.
Wow.
It is exactly a reptile. And the sand, because the area there, thousand years back, this area, it was under the sea. So the gradient of the color, it's an amazing. I mean, usually you can imagine, you can see those in a photo or in an art gallery, but to see a natural art photo, it's an amazing.
It sounds very breathtaking.
Yeah.
And then a person can never just depend on their memory. A photograph is necessary.
Yes, of course. Yeah, yeah.
So, Dr. Abdul Muhsin, tell us more about the Tantora Winter Festival. Other than the breathtaking views, what else was there?
Yeah, the Tantora, or the Winter of Tantora, took that name from a sundial, or what we can call it a sun clock, the old method of defining the time. So they call it the sundial. There's a huge rock sundial. It is right now still there in Al-Ula, or in the old town of Al-Ula. The local people, they gather in the 22nd of December every year to find, you know, to discover or to locate the beginning of the winter. So there is a thing, maybe, I don't know if there's some photo showing when the sundial reach a certain, the shadow of the sundial reach a certain length, then declare changing of the season.
Beginning of winter.
Beginning of the winter. And this is in the noon of 22nd of December, and it will be end in the 22nd of February.
So even a more exciting moment to join in and be a part of.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, Mr. Abdul Muhsin, we were just looking at some footage on the screen. Now, looking back, how do you feel knowing that you've taken part in such exciting trips? I know you travel a lot, but why is it this specific event is even more special than the other ones?
This event, maybe it has a different taste. Can you imagine yourself, you are going inside a 3D historical movie, but the difference in the 3D, you cannot touch, you cannot feel, you cannot smell. Now, the thing which I wear, I was able to touch the history, I was able to smell, to listen. It was like just listening to the sound of the people who were living there. You know, the Thamud people, which is mentioned in Al-Quran, because Al-Ula, or Medan Salih, or Al-Hajar name, it's part of the Nabatean kingdom. And you know, Nabatean kingdom, their capital, which is Petra. So Medan Salih, or Al-Hajar, is the second largest settlement in Nabatean kingdom, which is that was in the 1st century.
Wow.
So we are talking about something very old. It was between Nuh and Abraham, and that time. So we are talking about very old. But the amazing that if this trip, that you can feel, you can touch, you can, even in the night, amazing paint art, natural God paint art.
sounds very beautiful.
Yes, it is.
And it must be very exciting for you to have lived that experience.
Yeah, I was really lucky for that.
You were. Now, Mr. Abdul Mohsen, you just mentioned some of the history.
Yeah.
So that part of the region is the main archaeological site of the Arabian Peninsula.
Yeah.
And Mada'in Saleh is actually a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. So going there now, keeping in mind the specific history, and I can tell that you are aware of it, what is it like? I mean, were there crafts that you can purchase, local art installations? I mean, how did they bring that aspect of history to the livelihood of those joining the festival?
Mada'in Saleh, in 2008, it was declared by the UNESCO that the first Saudi heritage site. Now, what we saw, or what is there right now, this is the remaining of the settlement of the Thamud people. Mm-hmm. Their house, their cemetery, their the area where they were living. Now, the amazing Thamud people, they were very strong, and they craft their home from the mountain. The amazing thing that they start with the mountain. It's a big mountain, so they start crafting from the top, and they go down. In Egypt, they start from bottom to up. Thamud, they start from up to bottom. To
reveal the house.
Yeah.
Right. Now, Mr. Abdul Mohsen, we are running out of time, unfortunately, but you were telling me there's one very important message you would like to tell our audiences. So if we could wrap up with that, please. Yeah,
the most important thing that we as a travelers, we have to be a good ambassador for our country outside. Mm-hmm.
Well, Mr. Abdul Mohsen, thank you for your time this evening, and I wish you all the best and safety in your future exciting adventures.
Thank you very much for this invitation, and I really appreciate to give me the opportunity to send my opinion to the audience. Thank you.
So, dear viewers, we were just speaking to Mr. Abdul Mohsen Albaghli, whom is a Kuwaiti biker and traveler.